Thank you for joining us once again on the newsroom. Hoodlums have attacked operatives of the Rapid Response Squad RRS of the Lagos State Police Command at Herbert Macaulay Way, Yaba area of the state. Eyewitnesses say the thugs attacked the security agents on the assumption that they were deployed to stop the ongoing #EndSARS protest. The thugs were seen hurling stones and sticks at the vehicles of the RRS team while the operatives scampered for safety. There have been an outbreak of violence in some parts of the country amid the #EndSARS protests. And most parts of Lagos are on lockdown today as protesters take over major highways to express their anger on police brutality and bad governance in Nigeria. Commuters had to trek long distances to their destination, while some people missed their flights due to the blockage of the access road into the Lagos airport. Earlier, we spoke to our correspondent Abisola Adebayo, who monitored the situation on the Yanopaja-Oshodi Expressway. Abisola, can you tell us what the situation is like where you are?
Thank you very much, Oyi. There is traffic everywhere. The protesters have actually blocked the road now. They said nobody is passing. The traffic gridlock is really worse. Nobody can go anywhere. Everything is at a standstill right now.
And then we understand we understand that the airport's access, the road leading to the airport, has also been blocked. Did you notice travelers, and did they speak to you about the inconveniences that this has caused them?
Oh yes, the road to the airport is actually blocked right now. No car can pass. Everywhere is on a standstill. People are actually trekking. Some travelers have to go back. They have to cancel their trip. But some people, I spoke to some people earlier, and they told me they're actually very happy that this is happening right now. They said they're happy to go back home. Some people say they're happy to be in the traffic, that they're going to stay there as long as the protests are very peaceful, no vandalism, nothing. They said they're happy to be in traffic and they're going to stay there. The people that cannot stay, they're going back, while some people that they have to catch their flight, they're walking, they have to trek to the airport.
And for some of the protesters that you saw on the road, does it look like this traffic is going to ease anytime soon?
No. It's not looking like it's going to ease anytime soon. They said they are not leaving that place until the government answers all their requests. They said they are not leaving there. They blocked everywhere.
A 24-hour curfew has been imposed across Edo State following incidents of vandalism and attacks carried out by hoodlums who hijacked the #EndSARS protest earlier today. The hoodlums had attacked the White House prison in Sapele Road, releasing several inmates. This was announced by the Secretary to the State Government, Osarojon Oge, who announced the curfew. Secretary to the State Government, Osarojon Oge, who announced the curfew shortly after the attack, said it will take effect from 4 p.m. today until further notice. And reports from Abuja say soldiers are gradually being deployed to put an end to the protests in the Federal Capital Territory. Security operatives have taken over the Central Bank of Nigeria area where protesters have been since Sunday. All the connecting road to the Central Bank has also been cleared. One of the protesters, Emmanuel Inyang, spoke to us earlier. Mr. Emmanuel, can you confirm the situation in Abuja right now?
Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Emmanuel.
Yeah, okay, the situation, the protesters actually were attacked early hours in the morning, around 5 a.m. by hoodlums or thugs. A car was bombed. The DJ that was playing music for the protesters and all that, the car was destroyed. And a couple of people were injured, and then the protesters had to flee and all that. And then the police and the NCDC were drafted in with their water cannons and their tear gas. And then at some point, the protesters were scattered to different places at the Asokoro Junction, and then some shut down the city gate, that's the airport road. And then the police were still deployed, the police and the NCDC were still deployed there, and then there was tear gas fired at them, and then tear gas and then water cannons too.
If you said that the protest was largely peaceful, at what point did the hoodlums attack? And do you by any chance know who these hoodlums are?
Well, we don't know, but from a few people I spoke to, they told me they saw them coming out of Prado Jeeps they came out of a Prado Jeep or something. One of the protesters showed me a video. They came out of a Prado Jeep, and then they were waiting. They've been waiting around for the protesters to, be calm. So they attacked at the early hours of the morning. They were actually around or something. And, the protesters were actually unarmed, so they had to run, flee for their lives and all that. The hoodlums came with guns. They shot guns into the air and all that, and they had knives and all kinds of things.
But has there been report of any injuries so far?
Well, yes. Yeah, there were reports of injuries. There were a couple of them fled, just slight injuries. Yeah, there was, but nobody died.
And then we understand that soldiers have been deployed to the road, and you also spoke about some security operatives on the road now trying to ensure that the hoodlums do not take advantage of this situation. How are protesters taking that?
Well, they're not finding it funny. It's not actually soldiers. They're actually NCDC officers and police officers with the water cannons and the tear gas as usual. They are not finding it funny because, this thing is supposed to be a peaceful protest, and this shouldn't actually happen. The people have the right to, air their grievances and all. So they're not really finding it funny, and they're scattered. Right now, they're moving towards Barnex. Hello, can you hear me?
I can. I'm with you, Emmanuel.
Okay, right now they're moving towards Barnex. They're actually scattered. Some people are at the airport road, some people are at the Asoko Road Junction, but they're moving towards Barnex now.
Meanwhile, protesters are still regrouping in different areas of the FCT. Although soldiers are taking over the city gradually, the major airport road is still being occupied by protesters. TV360's Abuja correspondent Emeka Amako now joins us via telephone from Abuja. Emeka, could you please tell us what Abuja is looking like right now?
Yeah, good afternoon, Oyi. And I make bold to tell you that the protest actually continues in Abuja, as it were. It's well documented that for the past 10 days plus, it's been one protest or the other right here in the FCT, and today isn't an exception. Funny enough, just yesterday, there was this advisory that actually made the round that the protesters were going to hit the streets of Abuja today, somewhere around the AYA. And they said anything 6 o'clock in the morning today, they are going to block the AYA, which is a popular bus stop right here in Abuja, to make sure that people coming, Nigerians coming from the axis of Nyanya, Taru, Maraba, Masaka, Ado, and the like, won't have access to the Federal Secretariat, believing that the Secretariat is a hub for civil servants. But as early as 6, 7 today, TV360 crew, we were actually at AYA thinking they were going to make do their threat. When we got there, there was no sign of any of the protesters. In fact, Nigerians were going about their normal duty. There was a normal traffic flow over there, and nothing to show that the protest was actually going to hold. But while we were at AYA, we later got to realize that it has actually started somewhere close to Nyanya. So we now had to deploy, got to the venue, and it was actually ongoing. And I mean,
not everybody, yes. Sorry to interrupt, Emeka. I know not everybody is taking part in this protest. And as it is now, a lot of business activities have been forced to shut down. How are people taking this? Have you been taking reactions from people on what they're saying about how this protest and the results have affected their business activities?
The reaction from Nigerians here in the FCT has been mixed. Some group will tell you that, yes, the protest is a good one, so long as it tends to achieve the purpose for which it started in the first place. While others will tell you that the protest to them is nonsensical because it's still the same crime which has been there over the years, and at the end of the day, nothing happens. But the truth about it is that it is actually taking its toll on economic activities, even here in the FCT.
Well, thank you very much for that update, Emeka. And please keep an eye on the situation for us. And please do keep safe. Moving on now, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has expressed shock over the cut of telecommunications fiber to the northeast region of the country by yet-to-be-identified aggrieved laborers. Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Umar Dambata, described the development as a breach of national security. According to reports, fiber infrastructures of MTN, Airtel and other operators have been cut off by aggrieved laborers who were engaged by some persons but were denied their pay. Maiduguri, Yobe and other cities in the northeast had been cut off from the communications to people within and outside the region. In sports, Belgium, Germany and Netherlands unveiled plans on Monday for a joint bid to host Women's World Cup in 2027. A statement released by the three countries' football associations said they had already expressed their intention to bid to World Football's governing body FIFA and that they would put together a formal agreement by the end of the year. The last Women's World Cup in 2019 was hosted by France, and the 2023 tournament was awarded to Australia and New Zealand in June. Germany previously hosted the tournament in 2011, while the Dutch were hosts and champions of the last UEFA Women's Championship in 2017. Well, that's the latest update from the newsroom. Thank you so much for watching.